Good morning. And welcome to the Westside Unitarian Universalist Greatest Show on Earth. My name is Ellen Greenwood. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And I'm especially happy to see all of you here. You did probably better than I did, since I realized at 10:30 that it wasn't 9:30. So welcome to those of you who are here in person, those of you who are here via YouTube, and those of you who may watch this later on YouTube, whether or not you forgot about the time change. We are very happy to have each one of you. Our chalice has already been lighted this morning. And we also have a candle for joys. This is our day at the circus. We are only thinking about the fun side of life, the bright side of life. We will extinguish this flame, but not the... We will extinguish this flame, but not the warmth. We may extinguish this flame, but not the warmth of community, never the warmth of community and the fire of commitment that burns within all of us, whether or not the flame is burning. You know, sometimes...
One goes out, but the other one doesn't.
Uh-oh.
It may come back on at any moment, we don't know.
Oh, well, that adds to the suspense. So, you know, sometimes, like this morning, things don't go the way you want them to. And in those times, well, any time is a good time to have a sense of humor. Today, we honor the spirit of humor, and we also recognize that life can be a lot like a circus.
The chalice is back on.
Obviously, our circus...
Extinguish the flame.
Right. It never dies. It's eternal in each of us and up on our altar as well. Today, we also remember a famous but oft-forgotten Unitarian hero, Phineas T. Barnum, who started the Barnum and Bailey circuses. So welcome to the West Side Circus.
Okay, you're supposed to sing along. And you can kazoo along. And Brad, is it possible to just keep it playing but turn it down a little bit? Fantastic. All right, as we come in, oh, a little louder. We need a little bit more than that. Because isn't the circus loud? That's right. Has anyone ever been to a Unitarian Universalist committee meeting? Yeah, so just like this is the spirit with which we are greeting the day. And as we come into this not so serious or not so worshipful time together, for those of you who haven't met me before, I am your master of ceremonies, the Reverend Carol Bedeau. I am privileged to serve here as MC, sometimes as ringleader, and sometimes as one of the crazy masses. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I have been informed recently that I can sometimes be too serious. So we are throwing that aside for today and not being serious. So P.T. Barnum said, "There is no picture so beautiful as the smiling smiling, bright-eyed, happy child. No music so sweet as their clear and ringing laughter, and we can extend that to children of all ages. There's nothing quite as spiritual as joy, so today we're going to have some fun. And we are going to begin. I'm going to not stick with the script very much. Bridget keeps telling me that I should stand in the center and preach it like an evangelical preacher. So today, we are going to do what Bridget did at the beginning of spiritual practices. We're going to laugh. So, Bridget, could you get us started, please? Just laugh. Come on, you can do better than that. Oh my goodness, that's pathetic. Seriously, come on, you use. Look at Henry's got it. All right, your assignment is to keep doing that even if you don't feel like it. Okay, so the first thing we always do at the beginning one of our services, the chalice. Would anyone like to attempt to blow out the chalice again? Go try, Henry. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Okay, let's see. All right. All right, we'll see what happens. Okay, so usually we do the chalice, and then there's the bowl. There's the sounding of the bowl, and it's very serious and very spiritual, and you're supposed to get meditative. Today, we have different kinds of. What is the most important thing you put in a bowl when you're doing something entertaining? Slime and punch? What'd you say, Henry? Slime. Okay, I'm sorry, I do not have slime today. However, who would like to help pass out the popcorn? Come on, somebody help me pass out the popcorn. Whoa! The chalice is back on. What? The chalice is back on. Okay, pass out the popcorn. There's a couple, somebody in the back. Michelle, maybe? Pass it. Will you pass that around, please? There's a couple more back there. Organic popcorn with organic sunflower oil, just salt. For those of you who are like me, right? All right. So we got circus music. We got popcorn, and now David is going to make sure that we have some of the other components of our circus that we need.
Well, I see a room full of animals here, and the animals need to be blessed. You want to bless the animals before you eat them. But I see another carnivore over there. Yes, come on, Henry. Who would you like to eat first?
Well, wait. I mean, he's got to be a...
Oh, he's got to be an animal first. Well, he is.
Henry, would you like to be a lion?
He's already a dinosaur, for goodness sakes.
Okay, but we need a lion. We want a lion.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, you look tasty here. Yes. But you look tastier.
Oh, great. David, we need
Yes.
monkeys. Could you please encourage them to be monkeys? We need monkeys.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes, you look like a, yeah, let's take this hat off here. Is that right? Yes.
We don't get some people over here. We got some monkeys. Who else wants to be a monkey? Be a monkey. Okay, now.
Monkeys, after all, are our closest relatives, so there's no reason to not do that.
Jazzy Bunny. Jazzy Bunny. We got some, I don't know, another bunny. We got some other bunnies. Anybody else wants to be a bunny? Okay, you can be a bunny.
Yes. Perfect.
Anybody else want to be a bunny? Oh, we also, I believe, have some, this appears to be a cow. There's another cow.
I think it's a donkey.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
It's a donkey.
Okay. Anybody else want to be a service animal? Okay,
Let's see, I can't put this on your head because it's already got ears on it.
Yeah, here.
May I put this? Yes.
Okay. See that? All right. Now we need to, at least everyone who's being an animal needs to live up to their animalness. So if you are an animal, would you please, in some way or other, embody your animal now? Hippity hopping. Okay, all right. Okay, now, so we have some animals, we have circus music, we have popcorn. What else do we need in a circus? The clown, what? Afterwards, there'll be drinks afterwards. All right, we don't have a clown. Who wants to volunteer to be the clown? No clowns. Clowns are scary. No clowns. Okay, skip the clowns. Acrobats. We do not have acrobats, but how about somebody who wants to do this? Somebody who hasn't done anything yet. Henry, you and I are going to dance. Who wants to do the hula hoops? You can just swing them on your arm. All right, the brave lion. What is the quality of the lion? But courage. Courage. All right. Anybody want to try doing this? Just this? You don't have to swing your hips to do it. You can just swing your arm. It's all good. All right. All right. So here's something else P.T. Barnum always said. No one ever made a difference by being like everybody else. No one ever, isn't that a you thing to say? No one ever made a difference by being just like everybody else in the crowd. He also said, I'd rather be laughed at than not noticed at all. All right, now in a little bit, you're going to have a chance to share a joke or a funny story of your own. This is an audience participation kind of deal. So I want you to start thinking about your own funny story or joke. Okay, Linda, you got to do something with it. Yeah, you can wear it as a necklace. Okay, all right. So start thinking about your joke or your funny story from your life. But first, we are going to have a musical interlude. We have the center ring. We have all these other things. Let's give a big welcome to our Westside Unitarian Universalist Church Kazoo Choir. The kazoo choir. Please come on up. So if you are in the audience and you'd like to play the kazoo as well, I believe there are some kazoos out there. Okay. All right. Now, Henry, I'm going to need your help for this. You and I, and maybe Helen too. No, not today. All right, come on, Henry. And Suzanne's going to help us. All right. All right, so here's what's going to happen. The choir is going to play a very serious piece of music. You may sing along if you like. We are going to do an interpretive dance to aforementioned serious music. And we're going to try to get you to do it with us. And Judy's going to help too. All right. Are you ready? Yes. All right. Starting 1, 2, 3. Please give our interpretive dancers and our kazoo choir a round of applause. And just notice that the chalice is still lit. The chalice is still lit. Okay, so, there's a lot of wild interpretive stuff going on in the world out there right now. Has anybody noticed that sometimes if you turn on the news, it looks a wee bit like wild interpretive dance? It does look a little wild right now. There's a lot going on out there. This is kind of the way the world feels right now. Okay, I'm a little serious. It's a little bit of a three-ring circus in our world right now. And we don't really know what gyrations and jigulations we'll be witnessing this week or next month or the rest of this year. P.T. Barnum, nearly 200 years ago, was very aware of the craziness of our socio-political world. Now, how many of you have ever seen pictures of, or do you know who P.T. Barnum is? How many of you knew before you came today who P.T. Barnum was? Okay, so he's a circus guy. I was actually in an antique store yesterday, and I did not spend $90 on it, but I actually saw an original Barnum and Bailey Ringling Brothers Circus banner in an antique store yesterday. It was awesome. Okay, so when you think of P.T. Barnum, what do you think of? Circus, sideshow. What kind of personality do you assume this guy had? Huckster.
Just waited to eat bread, 10 cents to get out.
Okay, the bird. Okay. Anybody think of him as just like not the most serious person in the world? Okay, here's the deal. He published a number of books on economics. He was considered one of the leading experts around on good financial strategies because he made a lot of money. Also, here's the really interesting part. He was a politician. He believed that many people are gullible and we can expect this to continue, and he was mayor of Bridgeport, Connecticut, and became a member of the Connecticut House of Representatives. Does that feel familiar to anyone? Apparently, like many of our modern-day politicians, he believed that, and this is P.T. Barnum, the common man, no matter how sharp and tough, actually enjoys having the wool pulled over his eyes and makes it easier for the puller. I thought it was shocking to realize that he was chalice is still lit. Just take a breath. The chalice is still lit. Famous politician, famous economist, very well respected, deeply believed that the common man, no matter how sharp and tough, really likes to have you put one over on them. Okay, so in the spirit of Barnum's insistence that we shouldn't take things too seriously, Ellen and David are going to share some humor about us UUs, and then we're going to have a chance to share other kinds of humor.
All right. Well, the first
I hope you're ready to go. 'Cause
The first-
I'm sure not.
the first joke will be
Yes.
passing the microphone from down here to up there.
Okay.
All right. Here are a few jokes about Unitarian Universalists, and see if they hit home for you, if they feel right or humorous or uncomfortable. Okay, can you hear me now? All right.
Okay.
So,
Keep my hands off of it then.
well, I'll pass it back to you.
Okay.
Unitarian Universalism is where you go to get your answers questioned.
This way you practice your laughing.
Make us feel good.
Oh, these are going to be bad jokes.
Oh, yes.
You're going to have to actually actively laugh.
UUs are notoriously bad singers. Yes, we are. And I certainly take that. And the reason, oh, yes, why? You ask why. Well, it's because they're always reading 2 lines ahead to make sure that they don't disagree with what they're going to say.
That's absolutely the truth. I keep saying that UUs should market to those seeking spirituality without religion the fastest growing demographic, especially organized religion, as no one can accuse UUs of being an organized religion. UUs disorganizing religion since 1568.
So as the story goes, 3 men came to see St. Peter at the pearly gates.
Now this just says people. They might not have been men.
It's on, David, you just have to
Yes.
put it right into your mouth.
Okay, so, yes, there we go, yes. So 3 people came to the pearly gates, yes. And the, I'm sorry, oh yes, Archangel Michael said, so we need to check and make sure that you can go in. And so he turned to the first one and said, and so what is your faith? And the person replied, Catholic. Well, did you go to confession? Asked Michael. Yes, indeed I did, just last night. Well, in that case, you may go right in. The second person stepped up and said, and who are you? And he said, replied, yes, I am Jewish. And, well, did you make a pilgrimage to the Wailing Wall? And said, yes, indeed I did. I just did it recently. Well, then fine, you may go right in. The third person stepped up and said, are you a UU? What are you? And he said, I am a UU. And he said, well, then did you bring a hot dish for us to share?
And did she?
Yes, I like my dishes hot as a T-Rex would.
Well, if you look on the internet, you will find that there are as many different answers to this question as you could possibly imagine. And that is, how many UUs does it take to screw in a light bulb? Well, this says it takes 300. A lot, right? 12 to sit on the board, which appoints the nominating and the personnel committee. 5 to sit on the nominating and the personnel committee, which appoints the building committee. 8 to sit on the building committee, which appoints the light bulb changing committee. 4 to sit on the light bulb changing committee, which chooses who will screw in the light bulb. 3 of those then give their own opinion of screwing in methods, while the one actually does the installation. After completion, it takes 100 individuals to complain about the method of installation, another 177 to debate the ecological impact of using the light bulb at all, and at least one to insist that back in her day, the lit chalice was quite enough.
And I will let you do the next one because you're doing this so well.
No.
There you go.
No. Well, it is another light bulb joke. How many Unitarian Universalists does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
We choose not to make a statement, either in favor of or against the need for a light bulb. However, if in your own journey you have found that light bulbs work for you, that is wonderful. You are invited to write a poem or compose a modern dance about your personal relationship with your light bulb. You may present it next month at our annual Light Bulb Sunday service, in which we will explore a number of light bulb traditions, including incandescent, fluorescent, three-way, long life, and tinted, all of which are equally valid paths to luminescence. Okay, this one is yours, David.
Okay. Yes. What 2 things do UUs and Dracula have in common?
I don't know.
What, David?
They both have their origins in Transylvania, and they both shy away from crosses.
Then there are UU missionaries. They go around knocking on people's doors for no apparent reason. And finally, you have to help me with these now.
Okay.
You may be a Unitarian Universalist if
belly dancing has ever been a part of a Sunday service you attended. I know who to ask to do a belly dance, but I don't want to embarrass her, so I won't.
we have had belly dancing in the past.
That's true.
If on Halloween you explain to everyone the pagan significance of their costumes.
So what are you, little girl? You get emails from committees you didn't know you were on. That's because you were absent the last time the board met and you just got appointed.
You know at least 2 people who are upset that trees had to die for your church to be built.
You consider Millard Fillmore one of the greatest U.S. presidents. Anybody know who Millard Fillmore was? I barely do.
He was a Unitarian.
Yes, okay. And when you hear the word owl, and don't immediately think of the bird.
And you know that the Holy Trinity is reduce, reuse, and recycle. Well, if any of you happen to pick up your phones when Reverend Carroll said we would be sharing jokes a few minutes ago, you've probably already found somewhere between 50 and 200 more UU jokes. So if you'd like, or if you just know some you'd like to share, we're going to do that now. And I thought I'd start by sharing a couple that I have seen over the years here that were my favorites. And well, actually, I'm only going to share one, I think, because my printer cut one off. But so there was a little girl walking down the street with a basket of kittens. I like it because it has kittens in it. And she comes to a priest. She meets a priest. And he says, "Oh, what cute kittens. What kind are they?" And she says, "Catholic kittens, Father." And he's very pleased. Well, the next week, the same little girl, same kitten, same priest, and this time the priest has the bishop with him. And he says, "Oh, this is really cute, Your Eminence. Get a load of this little girl. Just listen. Hello, little girl. Why don't you tell His Eminence what kind of kittens you have?" "They're Unitarian Universalist kittens, Your Eminence." "What? Last week you said they were Catholic kittens." "Oh, yes, but this week they had their eyes opened." All right.
Are we ready for non-UU jokes now? Yes.
We can have any kind of joke, you or not. We welcome all jokes as long as they
As long as they are within the general audience accessibility.
and our behavioral covenant.
Yes, as long as they are, yes.
Well, I'm not one to collect jokes, but my husband Jim was. So I have been in the archives of Jim's old jokes, and I've found 3, which I'd share today, but just one for now, and then we'll get somebody else up here. But so this is a Jim Winchester joke. The old man was lying on the ground, looking at clouds going by, thinking, they are God's clouds. And he asked, God, how much is 1,000,000? And God thought a moment and he said, to me, 1,000,000 is a minute. And the old man said, well, God, how much is $1,000,000? And God said, oh, to me, $1,000,000 is as a penny. So then the old man said, God, will you give me a penny? And God said, in a minute.
Who's else has got a joke?
Okay, do we have another one? Suzanne. Or
Yeah.
This is UU, and the question is, how do you know that a UU congregation is diverse? I don't know. There's different colors of Priuses out in the parking lot.
And I remembered my other favorite UU joke. Unitarian Universalists are people who believe in life before death. There you go, Henry.
This is a knock-knock joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow. Moo!
That was great. I bet we have an interrupting chicken around here somewhere, too. Any other jokes? Any comedians? Oh, there's Elizabeth. Oh, let's see. I see Elizabeth, then Jim.
I have 3 jokes. Can't remember one now, but okay. What do you call a deer with no legs? No, sorry. What do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea, huh? Okay, there's a second part to it. What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no idea, huh? What do you call a boat at the bottom of the ocean that keeps twitching? The boat keeps twitching. A nervous wreck. And I got one more. How much did the pirate pay for his earrings? A buccaneer.
So here's a Catholic one. So in Catholic school, the kids had to memorize the questions out of the Baltimore Catechism. So the bishop is coming, and the nun very nervously spends 2 weeks making sure everybody knows the stuff. She gives each kid a question. So the bishop comes in and asks the third question, which is, why did God make you? And there's silence. He repeats the question. There's still silence. And the nun is starting to fidget. The bishop asks a third time. And this little hand goes up, sort of quaking. And the bishop calls on her, and she said, the little girl who God made isn't here today.
Okay, so give me another. Okay. So here's another Jim Winchester joke. The West Side Church hired Dave Goforth to paint the outside of the building. And Dave decided that he would increase his profit if he thinned the paint with water. After he completed the job, so a torrential rain came down, and it washed the paint off the walls. Well, when the rain stopped, a voice came down from heaven and thundered, "Repaint, repaint, and thin no more." Thank Jim Winchester for that.
Jim, thank you for that.
All right. Any other jokes? Because if not, I do have a last one.
What's the last one?
I got one more. That's it. All right. Well, Jim sometimes liked to write his own stuff, like limericks and things. But he was a musician, So this is something he wrote, different words to the song back home in Indiana. And I have to say, we moved here in 1998, and at that time, it was in the news that Knoxville had more restaurants per person than any other city in the United States. And that every franchise was opening up a restaurant in Knoxville to see what kind of reaction it got from people. So we had a reputation. So this is what he says. Back home again in Tennessee land, where meandering rivers come to meet, to form the Tennessee in East Tennessee, in Knoxville where we all love to eat. We boast more restaurants in dear old Knox K-Town per capita than anywhere, they say. That's why we drink beer here in another round of good cheer and make Knoxville our happy home to stay. Back home again in Tennessee land, where meandering rivers come to meet, to form the Tennessee in East Tennessee, in Knoxville where we all love to eat.
Fantastic. Okay. Do we have any more? Were there any more hands? Any more? Any more jokes? Jerry, did you have a joke back there? And you may not speak about the basketball game last night while making jokes. Let me just say, this is our Kentucky fan standing up right now. Kentucky fan. Oh my gosh, the heart of darkness. Ay, ay, ay. Every time that the Vols meet Kentucky, we invoke Jerry Thornton's name in my living room at least once. Did you have a joke? Okay, come here.
This is pretty lame. What do you get when you cross a Unitarian Universalist with a Jehovah's Witness? I don't know. I guess somebody goes around knocking on doors looking for a discussion.
All right. So, P.T. Barnum, let us all just take a moment and honor the spirit of P.T. Barnum, right? He is a fascinating character if you've not studied him at all. I did not really understand his significance to our time until I started reading about his political career. And then I thought, this guy really is relevant to our time. We often remember him as sort of an exaggerated showman who believed that, just take this in, he believed it, he was a politician. No one ever went broke overestimating the ignorance of the American public. There's one born every minute. Yep. We may not often take him very seriously, but perhaps we should. Perhaps we should take him seriously. He also said that the noblest of arts is making other people happy. Sometimes, now, let me just ask you, most of the jokes were corny. Some of it was kind of goofy, but don't you feel a little bit better? Don't you feel a little bit better? We could have had, and we will again, have a serious service about serious things, because it is a serious world, but every once in a while, in the face of the circus that is the real world out there, we hope to make people happy. So, in that spirit, in a world that is filled with suffering and strife, and not to mention just the plain old ridiculous and ludicrous, because I am sorry, but the news is ridiculous and ludicrous, a lot of it. Like, ludicrous. It does not make sense. There is no sense in it. So, in the face of all that, we need to remember that joy is possible. And the choir is ready to remind us of that explicitly with our closing song that you are going to be invited to participate in. You can join in the chorus whenever we sing it.
They can
look at you trying to go back to order. Would you stay in chaos for a minute, please? Stop with the order and organization already. Be right where you are. Yeah, it's a committee decision. It's a committee decision. What does order look like? It will take all the people in the room to figure that out. Stay right where you are. Wherever you are is fine. Look at you. You all went back almost to your seats. It's so cute. All right. Instead of holding hands today, put your hands in the air. And repeat after me. In the face of chaos. In the face of insanity. In the face of whatever the heck is going on out there. I commit. At least once a day to look on the bright side of life. May it be so. Go in peace, go in joy, and have a good laugh today. A big thank you because Suzanne has brought cupcakes to go with the circus theme for coffee hour. So Suzanne, thank you for the cupcakes.